Hello, my favorite peeps in this whole wide world, my soaping family. Sorry, I was taking a sip of my coffee. My soaper freak family, I should say. I am making chili, and my friends are always asking me, Deb, teach me how to make chili. Not that I make it the best, but I like the way I make it, and people can make it all different ways. Anyway, here's the chili. It's just dried and hard. And we just buy it from Grants, New Mexico in big old boxes. So the stem is still on there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take off that stem, and I'm doing it with one hand, and all the seeds are in there. You're going to take out as many seeds as you can, but I don't worry about that until after I soak it. So, but I do take all the little stems off, and some people think that if they leave the seeds in, that's what makes the chili hot. And that is not the case. It just turns that really beautiful red chili into orange mess. You can taste the seeds, and it just tastes like greenery mixed in with your chili. So once I have all my little stems off, get me some iced tea going, and this water is just very, very hot. And you're going to soak or reconstitute, if you will, your chili. And also it washes it. So we add our chili in here. And you see a lot of seeds going in there, but that's okay. Once they plump up and get some moisture back into them, the seeds will come out. It's actually the membrane, and you'll see the membrane, and I'll show you once they're reconstituted with moisture. That's actually what makes your chili hot. So the hotter you want it, the more you leave those membranes in. You don't want it as hot, then remove the membrane on the inside. And the membrane is what sticks the seeds or holds the seeds. So, and then I just take my little thingamajig colander, and I just make sure the water is just hot. Sometimes I even use water from my tea kettle. And that's going to take a while, so you're going to let that soak. I don't really eyeball it. If I'm in the kitchen, I come and check it out as long as it's done before dinner. But I guess on an average, maybe an hour, until they're just soft. So we'll come back later and we'll continue on. All right, talk to you in a minute. Okay, I'm back to do the chili. Now here's the chili all soaked. And what I wanted to do is show you how I talked about the seeds. Doesn't make the chili hot, it's the membrane. So this is the membrane. I know it looks gross, but that's just the membrane off of the inside of the chili that the seeds are attached to. So, I mean, a few seeds get in there, that's okay. But if you want hot chili, then you want that membrane. So, what I have here, I soaked the chili, and then very, very hot water, and then I rinsed it out completely, cleaned out the seeds, and then I soaked it again because I wanted to rinse it off and clean it off, because I like to use the juice or the water that I soaked my chili in. So let's pour a little bit of that in. Whatever you have in there, I always go a little above half. And it's probably a little bit more. So you see the liquid in there. And then I already have my garlic, fresh garlic. So let's pop that in, and I'm doing another, because when I make chili, I make a lot. So, I will come back instead of letting you listen to the blender, because I blend it for a good long time. And that comes back to soaking. If you don't soak long enough, then some of the skin on the outside doesn't get soft enough, so when you blend it, it just blends little harder chunks. It's kind of like eating popcorn and you get the kernels stuck in your teeth. That's what the chili does. You get those little hard pieces. So I like soaking mine for a long time, and I like blending it for a long time. So, and before you guys say anything about my Ghetto Fabulous blender, I love it. I love this blender. It was given to me by this wonderful elderly lady that used to go into the spa where I gave facials at, and she was moving, so was getting rid of a lot of stuff, and she told me that, because another girl and I always talked about cooking and baking and blending, and we both had KitchenAid blenders and KitchenAid mixers, and we loved our KitchenAid. But Enrique, the Cabana boy, broke my KitchenAid blender, so she gave me this, and you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. It works better on my chili, so I love it. But anyway, so I'm not going to endure you to the blending, because like I said, I blend for a long time. I'll come back and show you the next step. I'm going to have to splice this together. Tablespoon of oil, or you can use bacon drippings, which is really good with chili in the morning for breakfast. Pour it over your eggs and potatoes. Or you can use whatever oil. Olive oil tastes different, so. Alright, so there we go. That's brown enough for me. So I'm just going to take it off of the heat for now, because I don't want it really hot and splatter. Alright. So here's the chili blended. I'm trying to do this with one hand, but I want to bring it in the light. So that is what the chili looks like blended. Nice and pretty color. Just very, very blended. And that's what I use on my blender, is blend. I don't use liquefy. So I like to pour a little bit of water, and again, I'm going to use the water that, see the steam? And I don't want that scorching the chili. So basically, I'm kind of cooling off the bottom of the pan. And see how it's thickening up already? So it helps you thicken your chili up, in case especially if you use a lot of water. Alright. So now I feel comfortable dropping in my chili. And be careful, this can splatter, so nice and slow. And then I'll add a little water to that. But I have another container. I was gonna save it and freeze it, because before you cook it, you could just put it in a container. But I think I will just go ahead and use it. I'll add water to that too. So back on the burner. Skin is just nice and thick. If you chose, hold on, let me turn off my news.
One of you, maybe it was you, maybe it was somebody else. This is
Okay. If you wanted to put meat, which I normally do, you can fry your meat instead of using the grease. Well, a little bit of grease to fry your meat, unless you're using hamburger meat, which I use a lot, and it's very delicious in enchiladas and chili. So you can go ahead and fry your pork, fry your turkey, cube it up small, and fry it up. And then you're going to, you'll see the grease at the bottom. If there's a lot of grease, like hamburger meat, drain most of it out. Leave a tiny bit, like a tablespoon. Same with the other meats. Drain it out. Leave about a tablespoon. Then add some flour. And just go ahead, and it's going to stick to the meat. But that's all right. Then just kind of fry it up until you see that the flour has turned brown and there's no grease left at the bottom of your pan. After that point, you can go ahead and add a little bit of water, just like I did here. So when I pour the chili in, it wouldn't burn at the bottom. Just add a little bit of water, and then add your chili. And what we're going to do here now is bring it to a bit of a boil, a very light boil, and then I'm going to turn it down to low. And I'm going to keep it like that for about 20-25 minutes. And then turn it off. And you are ready to enjoy your chili. One other thing is I have my little secret ingredient. It's my little paste. So I'm going to put that in there. And it's going to cook with that. It's kind of like a bouillon. Pork, sorry, you guys had to see all my filthy, dirty dishes. And be careful with the chili, like if you left that spoon in here without rinsing it, it would stain your sink. It comes off with some work, but it will stain, and it will stain your clothes. So, be careful. So again, let's go ahead and add the rest of my chili water. And kind of give that a go ahead. A lot of people has asked me to do a video. I know it's totally different from my soap. And I poured it in the rest of my, to loosen any at the bottom. See, because like this, my husband likes it really, really thick like this, and that's fine. But because you did the roux at the bottom, you can add a little bit of extra water. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just so I can clean out all that chili. I did add salt to the blending stage. So this will go on tonight's dinner, which is enchiladas. But tonight I'm going to make them with a twist. I'm going to use coarse cheddar cheese, Longhorn, Colby Jack. You could use Monterey Jack. That's very good with green chili, but you can use it also for red chili. Enchiladas, but instead of corn tortillas, I'm going to make it with a flour tortilla. Or I'm going to make chimichangas, which is kind of a deep fried burrito. I know, deep fried. But that's just for every once in a while. So you see that consistency, everybody? That's how you want it. So again, we're going to just let that go and simmer for about 25 minutes. Turn it off and you're good to go. This is the Nuevo Mexico red chili, the way I make it, the way my abuelita taught me how to make it. Alright, we'll talk to you later. Oh, and if you want, you can even add, not diced up potatoes, but you can add potatoes in here. Just kind of, cut them up. Larger pieces, smaller pieces. And you can put that in there if you choose to. Alright, peace out. Enjoy your chili. Bye.